Hello there, I'm Dutch. Me and Vinnie, my buddy Vinnie, one of America, are watching Victor Tanzik's Stories of War final episode. This is not Falcon for 13, for people under 13. This is for 13-year-olds and up. Real discretion is fucking advice, because it's war. And people die. And engines. This will fucking give you nightmares. Do not fucking watch this at night. You have been fucking warned. Anyway, thanks again to Mr. Tanzik for allowing us to do both his mini-series. A second mini-series will come will come in November. Why am I saying November? Because we're getting to the point where we're getting closer to season 3 in Voice of Soda. Currently, the main engine reaction show is doing the next 10 Soda shorts, then the next 10 episodes of Soda Vito Season 1. Season 3 will air after that. And then after all 25 episodes of Season 3, read the next 10 Soda shorts and the last 6 episodes of Soda Vito Season 1. Then Season 4 of Voice of Soda. So, the second mini-series of Mr. Tanzik and spend one today. We're either November. We're saying November, but the date could change. We're just thinking November, some point in November. It could change to December date, but like the series of war, it'll be a Monday, Wednesday schedule. So the 3 Mondays, 2 Wednesdays. So either November or December, the second miniseries will air. In the Engine's Reaction miniseries. And then we end on that. So after season 4 airs, in the main show, Avenger Reactions, the next 10 Soda shorts, and the first 10 of Soda Vito Season 2. And so on and so forth. There's a lot of Soda shorts to go through, a lot of Soda Vito to go through. And plus after seasons 4, 3, and 4 of Voice of Soda, we got seasons 5 and 6. And then once season 7 airs, we'll react to that. So basically what I'm saying is Sender Reactions will be airing next year. Well, not with the recap / reviews. So, anyway, that's enough of the update. Let's fucking do this.
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, you are about to embark upon the great crusade toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. In company with our brave allies and brothers in arms on other fronts, you will bring about the destruction of the German war machine, the elimination of Nazi tyranny over the oppressed peoples of Europe, and security for ourselves in a free world. Your task will not be an easy one. Your enemy is well-trained, well-equipped, and battle-hardened. He will fight savagely. But this is the year 1944. Much has happened since the Nazi triumphs of 1940-41. The United Nations have inflicted upon the Germans great defeat in open battle, man to man. Our our air offensive has seriously reduced their strength in the air and their capacity to wage war on the ground. Our home fronts have given us an overwhelming superiority in weapons and munitions of war, and placed at our disposal great reserves of trained fighting men. The tide has turned. The free men of the world are marching together to victory. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. We will accept nothing less than full victory. Good luck, and let us all beseech the blessing of Almighty God upon this great and noble undertaking.
Indeed, we did beseech the word of Almighty God as Allied forces assaulted the beaches of Normandy. I can't imagine the ordeal those brave men must have gone through in securing a beachhead. But once they had, American and British forces began pouring into Europe. And not long after Paris was retaken, we were reassigned to the continent. As we did in Africa, we fought in a number of battles and supported the Allied invasion. And it would be during this time we would see for ourselves the true horror of the war. And I'm very sorry to say, there would be atrocities committed by all sides. 1944 was something of a blur to those of us in the 110th Platoon as we bustled back and forth between the various positions, delivering troops, supplies, and weapons. Before we knew it, 1945 had come, and we welcomed it. By that time, the Battle of the Bulge had been fought. This last-ditch effort by the Germans to turn the tide of the war had failed. Now, they were well and truly facing defeat as Allied forces closed in on Berlin. But when I say Allied forces, I'm unfortunately referring to British and American troops exclusively. The reason why I make this distinction is because the progress of the Russians made it look like they would reach the German capital first, which caused no small amount of resentment among British and American commanders.
Tarnations! Something wrong, Lieutenant? Yes, Thompson, there is. Here we are counting crates of beans while the Ruskies are about to stomp all over Hitler's boudoir. Due respect, sir. What's the problem? The problem, Grady, is we're not the ones doing the stomping.
Isn't that for the best, sir? You know what they say, better dead than red.
How about better dead and red? You knuckleheads are right. Thanks for that. And I'm sorry.
What for, sir?
I shouldn't be complaining to you. You should be complaining to me. That's how the chain of command works.
We don't mind, sir.
Yeah, we'll take complaints over orders any day. Not today, you won't. Get back to work.
Yes, sir.
What do you two make of that?
I don't much like that better dead than red comment. I also don't much like the idea of allowing the Russians to take all the credit for cutting the head off the snake. Aye, it doesn't seem right. Not when we've lost just as much as they have.
Personally, I wouldn't mind if the Russians did take Berlin before we did.
Why?
I think it would be far simpler for one side to take it. Can you imagine what would happen if both the Russians and Americans entered the city at the same time? Neither would want to give it up to the other.
A divided Berlin. Sounds like a great idea if you ask me. A divided Germany would be even better. we wouldn't have to worry about them ever starting up a world war again.
Are you so sure that would work, Douglas?
I can't see how it would possibly hurt anyone. So you agree with me, Thomas? Too right. If we conquered up Germany the last time, we wouldn't be here. And who is to say history would have played out any differently had such an act occurred? What are you talking about, Gordon? Let's take the Treaty of Versailles. It punished Germany severely for its role in the previous conflict, and Hitler was able to use it to devastating effect. And should Germany be partitioned in the wake of this war, who is to say that another firebrand agitator won't manipulate it to their advantage 20 years from now? I would have to agree with Gordon there. Maybe even Henry too, over what he said about Berlin. Is it really all that important who ends this war, so long as it does end? That's assuming the fighting stops with Berlin's capture. How do you mean? You've heard about this Manhattan project the Yanks are working on. If you can believe the rumors, they're cooking up some new kind of weapon. And if the Russians do take Berlin first, odds are the Americans will suddenly have a fat, juicy target they can test it on. Splendid. We vanquished the Nazis only to begin anew with the Soviets. Will this ever end? If you mean war itself, Gordon, that's a question for another day. If you mean this one, I'd say it'll be over very soon. What do you mean, Edward? I was just briefed by General Hammond. Allied forces have crossed the Rhine River. They're now in Germany itself, and we're going with them. What? We're going to Germany? That we are, dear Lily. I've been assured we'll strictly be acting in a supporting role, but we can't make assumptions the Germans will go along with this. When do we leave? In 2 days' time. Into the lion's den. I don't know about the rest of you, but I welcome this. Aye, it'd be mighty grand taking the fight straight to the Nazis' doorstep. Who knows? Perhaps we'll be the first ones to enter Berlin. One can only hope. Maybe. I can't believe how easy this has been. Aye, though I'm not complaining. Not after the hell we went through in Africa. And I must say, these rails are certainly sturdy. Say what you will about the Germans, they know how to build things properly. Careful, Lily. You praise the Jerrys too much, you might find yourself on trial for treason. Perhaps I should belt up then. Never get real long. They'll have to ride over my rust-ridden corpse before I ever let anything happen to you. I knew there was a reason why I liked you, Douglas.
Oi, Thomas, Dougie, your train's ready to go.
All right. Thanks, Adam. We better get a move on, Dougie. Aye, we better. See you later, Lily. Later, Thomas. Bye, Douglas. Love you. Love you too. What was that? It sounded like incoming! caught with our trousers down. How the hell were the Germans able to ambush us like that? I thought we had them on the run. The thing about running away, Henry, is one can always run back. You think intelligence would have been smart enough to keep a watch for such maneuvers? Military intelligence, Lily, is a contradiction in terms. That it is, old chap. Hi, everyone. Oh, Peter, Adam, thank goodness you made it. Are you all right? Yes, we're fine. We managed to avoid the ambush and took the long way here. We also picked up a few survivors from other positions along the way. Where's Thomas and Douglas? We don't know. We haven't been able to reach them on the radio. We have to go look for them. Easy, Adam. Let's not go off half-cocked, especially in light of the thrashing we received. What's the plan, Edward? A counterattack is being organized, but we'll need to wait for reinforcements. They won't arrive until tomorrow. So Thomas and Douglas have to spend an entire night behind enemy lines? Brilliant. God, I hope they make it. We all do, Lily. Oh, crikey. If we go any further, we probably will reach Berlin. I've never puffed so fast and so hard for so long in all my life. Probably because you've never been in enemy territory before. Alas, you're right. And that's exactly where we are, isn't it? I haven't heard anything from the others over the radio. Have you? Hold that thought. Shit! What do we do? Hide, of course. Look, there's a factory up ahead. We might be safe there. How do we know it's not crawling with Germans? We don't. Come on. Bloody hell, that was close. Too right. And what luck. This place looks deserted. We should try raising the others on the radio now. Good idea. It'd be nice to know if they're alive or not. They would be, Dougie. Don't worry. I'm sure they're all right. I'm sure Lily is all right. God, I hope so. What was that? That sounds like a steam engine. Who's there? Are you Fat Controller's engines? Hey, I'm proud of it. Oh, thank goodness. I'm Oliver, and I'm with my great man Toad. We've run out of coal and have no more steam. Oliver? Not Oliver from the Great Western Railway. Yeah, that's me. How'd you know? We're friends of Duck. You wouldn't be the engines of Sodor, would you? Aye, that's us. Looks like our luck hasn't entirely run out, Mr. Oliver. No, it hasn't, Toad. This is a godsend. Don't go getting excited just yet, laddie. We've still got to get the hell out of here. I think the best option is to wait here and keep trying to call the others on the radio. And if they don't reply, then come the morning, we make a break for it. Suits me. One way or another, we're getting back to our own lines.
of the shells are being loaded now. This is taking too long. We need to be out looking for Thomas and Douglas now. Take it easy, Lily. I want to find them just as badly as you. But if we have any hope of doing that, we need to go about it properly. Excellent advice, Edward. And I'm pleased to say we have found them. We have, General? How? Where? Aerial reconnaissance caught sight of them at a factory near Olstheim, and by an extraordinary stroke of luck, they were sighted in the company of one of our tapper engines. Tapper engines, sir? As in radio tapping, Henry. Mobile listening stations that are constantly monitoring enemy communications. The engine in question is a Great Western 1400 tank engine named Oliver. He and his brakeman Toad were cut off in yesterday's ambush. So we know where they are. Are we going to go get them? Yes. Specifically, you three. The rest of your platoon will help support our attack on Heldenbergen. The assault should provide enough of a distraction for you to rescue them. You can count on us, sir. I know I can. Oh, there's one more thing you should know. The radio operator working with Oliver and Toad is an old friend of mine. One whom I believe you have a history with. Who are you talking about, sir? Blair! Hello, Thomas. It's been a long time. Not long enough. You two know each other? Unfortunately, yes. This tosspot caused all manner of trouble for me and my friends back on Sodor. Then, his disgraced partner sent one of us rolling down a hill and me into a bloody pond. I had nothing to do with that, Thomas. Burke's actions were his own. And as for the so-called trouble I caused, I was just doing my job. Like I'm doing here. Why are you here anyway? Oliver, Toad and I have been monitoring Nazi transmissions for several months now. Why you? I was a radio analyst during the First World War. I was recalled to that post when this one broke out. You can't be too good at that job, or you would have picked up word of yesterday's ambush. We've been tasked with tracking the Nazis' leadership. Lately, we've been chasing one of their more vile members. Who? Is that ours or theirs? Sounds like both. Let me jump on the radio and find out what's going on. If it is our crew, let's hope they're putting the jellies through hell. Damn it! Lauto deep down four. Are you in the coin in clear? Nekir Lauto. Magi Foden Alcin Rad. Agri Lolopod Awal. Wedit Lafo. Minan Arapoint Yin Lopra Aral. Kopwich Lauto. Poplik. Well, our lads have launched an attack on Heldenbergen. From the sound of it, the Germans are throwing in everything they've got to defend it. That doesn't sound good. No, but a gap has opened up in their lines. If we have any chance of getting out of here, we need to move now. I don't like the idea of making a break for it during a battle, but I hate the idea of staying here even more. Agreed. Let's go. Oh no! We've been spotted! There's nothing for it! Leg it!
service, I've never met anyone with quite so much resource and sagacity as you engines. We're just doing our job, sir, and I'm very grateful for that. And so is Toad. Thank you very much. I'm thankful too. I can see why Mr. Star thought so highly of you all. May he rest in peace. Careful, Mr. Blair. I might actually start liking you. Well, we can't have that, can we? Nice to see you haven't lost your sense of humor, Tony. I tried my best, George. Oh, that just reminded me. We may have found him. You have? Where? That's the frustrating part. He's at a facility called Bulbrick, but we don't know its exact location. Who are you talking about? Hitler? Of course not. That bastard is probably holed up in a concrete bunker in Berlin. I'm talking about Joseph Mengele, the Nazis' chief scientist. Chief sadist would be more accurate. We helped liberate a handful of concentration camps where he served. The stories the prisoners told were enough to churn my firebox. Indeed, Mr. Oliver. I remember one account told by a little girl over what that man did to her twin sister. Ugh, disgusting. So we know where he is, just not where he is. We could get back out in the field and keep searching. Oh, no, you don't, Oliver. General Hammond, with all due respect, we have a duty to uphold. Here's an example to us all, chaps. But nonetheless, you have been through quite the ordeal. All four of you have. As such, you will be examined for any damage. Then, and only then, will you return to active duty. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Lucky you, Henry, getting to blow up a couple of Jerry Steamies.
Aye. There was a strange sense of satisfaction in blowing them to hell. Big bastards they were, too. Dare I say, they could give you a run for your money, Peter.
If we ever come across one, I'd be willing to test that. Ah, you boys and your chest thumping. Crikey, look at this mess. Those Jerry shells certainly pack a wallop. Just be careful when sifting through this lot. You never know where you might come across an unexploded one. Clear out!
Ouch! Damn safety valve!
Oh dear God, no! It should go without saying, Lily's brave action that day got her killed. But her sacrifice did allow Henry to live, albeit not unscathed. Though the Minis number 2 bore the brunt of the blast, our number 3 still suffered damage. Too much for him to be repaired on the front line. He was shipped back to England, bringing word of Lily's passing with him. I'm afraid we weren't given much time to grieve, not after learning some very important information. Over 100 prisoners were taken during the Battle of Heldenbergen, one of whom just so happened to be a former guard at the elusive Bulbrick concentration camp. The guard gave us the facility's exact location. In a blitz-style attack, we swooped in on Bulbrick. Encountering minimal resistance, we quickly took the place. Unfortunately, Mengele wasn't there, but what we did find was no less horrific. Oh, those poor souls. How can people do that to one another? Not people, Edward. Monsters. Too true, old chap.
Does anyone else find this place a little odd?
If by odd, you mean depressing.
Not just that. Depression is a given with these places.
What do you mean, then?
Doesn't there appear to be an awful lot of track here?
Now that you mention it, yes. If I were to hazard a guess as to why that is, I would say this place wasn't always a prison. Perhaps an industry of sorts. A sawmill, maybe.
Why would they convert a sawmill into a concentration camp?
I don't know, Adam. Why would they enact a policy that necessitated the need for such wretched places? All right, all right. Let's settle down, chaps. This is an emotional time for all of us, but we need to stay focused. Gordon, once these people are on board your train, take them back to the 4077. Adam, head on over to the eastern side of the camp. There's that shed we haven't looked in yet. I'll join you shortly. Right, yeah. Oh, God! Adam, what's wrong? Adam, what is it? Dear God, man, what's the matter? Gordon, there is no God. And if there is, he sure as hell isn't fucking good. Taken aback by Adam's outburst, I then proceed to make the biggest mistake of my life. I looked inside that damn shed. I'll spare you the gory details, but suffice to say the word abattoir would be a gross understatement. Subsequent interrogations of Bulbrecht staff revealed the facility did indeed used to be a sawmill. At Mengeler's request, it was converted into a concentration camp. The Angel of Death then proceeded to conduct his grotesque experiments on the prisoners, making good use of its high-powered equipment. As much as I hate to say it, a morsel of good came out of that mission. Adam and I were deemed traumatized by what we saw. We and our entire platoon were rotated to rearguard duty, returning to our base at Ostend in Belgium. There, far removed from the front lines, we worked and tried to forget. But it wasn't easy. How are you holding up, Adam? I'm getting there. I had my therapy session this morning, and my crew are over there now. Is it helping? Very much so. The important thing is I need to keep working. So what's this train you brought in, Peter? Just a transfer from the front line. Mostly empty trucks and a couple of tanks that need fixing. What's that coach doing at the rear? Oh, that coach is holding German POWs. Really? What's it doing here? It was accidentally attached to my train. By the time they realized this cock-up, it was practically here. It'll be going back tomorrow. Well, track 4 is clear. We'll be able to shut this train later. Why not now? Because we've got a ton of other trucks to move first. I can handle Peter's train, Thomas, if you want to make a start on that lot. You're going to run crewless? No, of course not. They'll be back in about 10 minutes. We'll put this train away and be right over to assist. Sounds like a plan. I can help out too once I refuel. That'd be great. Let's get to it. See you soon, Adam. Right. See you soon. What's his hurry? What's his hurry? That's just what I... What was that? It didn't sound good. Wait here.
prisoners. Wait, what? You drowned in a Thai coach full of POWs? What the hell is wrong with you? Nothing. Those bastards deserve to die. That wasn't your decision to make. Can you honestly say what I did was wrong, Edward? I thought not. Son of a bitch. I hate to say it, but fishing that coach out of the sea was an exercise in futility. Adam's actions caused a profound split among the platoon, our division mirroring that of society's. When news of this made the papers, there were an equal number of voices calling for Adam to be given a medal and to be charged with murder. Neither happened, as our superiors didn't want to incentivize killing prisoners, and, at the time, there were no laws that could charge a non-faceless vehicle with murder. And given who Adam had killed, the politicians weren't exactly in a rush to change that. Even though no charges were laid down, the army certainly didn't trust us after that. As such, our platoon was disbanded, and we returned to Sodor. We arrived to a hero's welcome, despite a rather ignoble end to our service. With the help of our friends, we managed to reacclimatize to civilian life and move on from the hardships of the Second World War, which ended in Europe on May 8, 1945, and on September 2nd of that year in the Pacific. The world was profoundly altered by that terrible conflict. Great changes had been made, and others were yet to come.